fly. Put your drinks down, step to the dance floor with your best move. I'ma tell the drummer to give me some. We gon' hit it. Ready? 1, 2, 3, hit it.
That joint you just heard was Anytime Groove, and luckily for you, we have the creator of that song on the line now. AJ, what's
How you
good,
doing,
man? I'm coolin'.
Glad to be on talking to you today, man. I appreciate it.
I appreciate you accepting the invitation, man. I know you're pretty busy, and you just let me stop by for a little while.
Had to, man.
Okay, now AJ, I'm kind of excited, so I'm gonna delve right into the interview. All right, now first, I want to engage one of your projects. I know you have the Light Bulb Moment, and that's the latest project that you're working on, right?
Yes, that's the project that's out right now. You can get it anywhere that you find music. If you Apple Music, Tidal, Spotify, SoundCloud, wherever you get music. My website, you can get it everywhere right now.
Yeah. And your website is AxJforever.com, right?
Correct.
Light Bulb Moment is the project that you're pretty much promoting now. But what do you have coming up? Like, what do you have in the works? What can we see in the near future from AJ?
Well, I'm working on, I'll say this, I'm working on like 3 different projects right now, but I have one that I'm going to be releasing within the next couple months, hopefully. It's called 14 Hours, and it's actually been inspired from a couple of trips I've taken on the road doing music, and people will understand the concepts and stuff about it later. But that's something I'm very excited about that I'll be putting out soon, and I'm working out a tour now as well for the top of the year, 2017. So those are some things to look out for. So there'll be a good amount of new music coming out, and I'll be hitting the road soon too. So
okay, that's good. Now, I've mentioned on the show a few times like how enamored I am with you and your artistry and your performance, because if you listen to the artistry and then and I watch you perform, there's really no difference. Like, you get the same feeling watching you perform as you envision while you're listening to the album. So that's one thing I appreciate, because many times you can take your time out to go see an artist and you don't get what you think that you're going to get by listening to the album. So I appreciate like the energy that you have on stage. I feel like you believe what you're rapping about.
Oh, absolutely. It's important for artists to talk about what's true to them or what's important to them. So, so I always want to make sure I'm putting something out that I believe in, or at least, does something for me as well.
I got you. Well, now, this is a question that I've always had, like, when I listen to you do music, because I see that you incorporate different, like, philosophies and ideologies into your music. So my question is, what inspired you to perform music? Because there's so many other outlets. You could write novels, you could sing. But what inspired you to perform music on the platform that you perform it on?
First of all, I want to say that's really cool that you caught different philosophies and ideologies in my music. So a lot of people don't catch those. It's kind of surface stuff. So that's really cool that you caught that in the first place. But when it came to me, man, I feel like it was a natural progression for me. I started out writing poetry. I wrote poetry since I knew how to write, as far as back as I can remember. But I always wrote poetry that rhymed, but I never thought the rap was really, before I really knew what rap was. I was writing poetry, but it always rhymed. It just made sense that way.
Yeah.
And I always give the credit to I had 2 older cousins, LS and Extra Centels, what they went by. They were artists and producers that were older than me. And they knew that I wrote poetry, and they're like, man, you write these poems that rhyme and you getting awards for that and stuff. Like, you should just rap. And I would always ride around with them, and they would be playing hip hop music and just music in general. So I always was around it, but they like literally made me write a song, and I loved it. And we recorded it at the house that they were at the time, and I just kind of fell in love with it. And it's just been a progressive thing from there. I just kind of fell in love with the art of it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So you fell in love with it. So in order to fall in love with it, there has to be some sort of chemistry going on with the art. So,
exactly.
In simplistic terms, like, what does music do for you?
What doesn't it do is kind of the question. I mean, I always put it next to like a heartbeat or something for me. It's just, it's a daily thing. It's something that keeps me going. It's kind of, I'm always on some type of vibe with music. It inspires you. I'll give a quick example of like when I was younger. I listened to Jay-Z's Reasonable Doubt album. That was one of the first albums I got into.
Yeah.
And at the time, my parents had split up, and I was going through that, and I had moved to a different state and all this stuff. And in the music, he was talking about, his dad left when he was around 10, 11 years old. And it was like, man, this dude, I don't even know that it's like taking me on this journey of the album. Is going through the same thing I'm going through. And that was kind of the first thing I can remember that, like, I really connected to something that was personal to me from music.
Yeah.
And music does that continuously over and over. And there's so much music now, and you can really get niched into what you really like and not be ashamed of it. So it's always been like that for me. And now it's an outlet for me too. Yeah.
That's interesting. So, okay, with you being passionate and music being like a therapeutic form for you, all right, and this is basically it's your soul being spoken on top of a beat, right? So, my question is for you as an artist. One, well, let me ask you the first question: is it natural for you? Like, do you spend hours and hours trying to come up with a flow? Is it a painstaking process, or you hear a beat? Is it just natural? Does it just flow?
It could really be any of the, like, all of the above. There are certain songs that could come really quickly, and as soon as I hear the beat, I could hear something, and it just flows real natural and it's broke real quick. There's maybe a track that I just sit on for a while, and it may take me months to finish or something like that if I keep coming back to it, if it keeps calling me. Or there's times where there's no music whatsoever, but I just have something in my head and I have to put it down, and then I end up finding something, a track or something to go with it later to make sense of it. But yes, it is somewhat of a natural thing. But when it comes to putting together like a body of work, then it becomes more of a longer process, and it's detailed and trying to figure things out. But it's always a fun thing. It's always something new.
I got you. So what frustrates you as an artist?
Something that could be frustrating is not getting where you want to get to yet. It's a painstaking process. I feel like my journey is a longer one to get where I want to get to, but I know it's for a purpose. And when I get where I'm going to get, I'll appreciate it that much more. So that, and just wanting to get something done, or getting kind of like Kanye said, with good music, getting out your dreams. It's just when I have something I want to do, and just want to get it out in the right way, and you just want whatever resources that you have. So I guess it could just be the patience of the process could be something that's frustrating, or even finding the right people to work with sometimes. But that's a couple of things. Yeah. Okay. But I will say majority of it I love. There's very few things that I don't really like or that frustrate me a whole lot to the point of like focusing on it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay. Well, tell me a little bit about your brand. Love and value everything.
Yeah. So brand I came up with, Love. It's spelled LXVE, stands for love and value everything. It was just something that I wanted to do that with something that's bigger than myself. I know I have my name, but also having some other type of legacy that people could latch on to, and love is something that's universal, and everybody wants love. And when, whether it's merch or just spreading the message, it's like literally spreading love, which is really cool. And it with the X and the love brand, it kind of goes together with my name and about, leaving your mark and, and doing what you love and value everything, especially you. It's something that I always say with it. Yeah.
I'm definitely digging the whole universal aspect. Yeah. Everybody can relate to it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. All right, man. So, but before we get out of here, it's two things that I really want to know. About you. One, in third person, I want to ask you to explain this. Who is AJ?
AJ is an artist for sure, a poet, a creative that has a lot of love in his heart and just wants to get out things and motivate others, and drives a lot on inspiration and being inspired and being an inspiration for others. And when he wants to do something, he most likely will make it happen some sort of way. So, yeah.
Okay. All right. Last question, AJ, and I got to let you go because I know you're busy. But this is something that I would like to. This is something that intrigues me very much, because just listening to your lyrics, I want to know the answer to this question. 30 years from now, in 30 years from now, what do you want to be able to say about the work you've done as the artist known as AJ?
That AJ affected millions of people, that he made a difference, that it was bigger than the music. The music, did something for people. The messages did something for people. The brands did something for people. And, he left something bigger than himself that can be motivation for generations to come. Yeah.
I can dig it. I can dig it. All right, this is your brother from another mother, OC, chilling with the one and only AJ. You heard the exclusive interview here on The Harbor. You can always check out his latest project, The Light Bulb Moment, on iTunes or Spotify. But more preferably, check out his website at axjforever.com. That's AxJforever.com. Coming up next is AJ's single, Calm Down. Stay tuned. This is The Harbor.
And get arrested for the chatter, and you wanna get offended. We said Black Lives Matter.
All lives matter. Black lives are lives. Therefore, Black Lives Matter. Notice that nowhere in this logic does saying that Black Lives Matter discredit the fact that white lives matter as well.
You say you're not racist, I don't believe that shit. You say change gon' come, I don't see that shit. They try to make us all scared of the blood and the Crips, but the police about as gangster as it gets. We like, stop, chill. Crack ain't the only thing that kills, man. You need to calm down. Calm down. Alright, now all cops ain't bad, let me make that clear.